There's a simple writing habit that has been shown in some studies to reduce anxiety by as much as 45%. For years, I was completely trapped in a relentless cycle of anxious, ruminating thoughts. It felt like my brain was stuck in threat detection mode, and I just couldn't turn it off. I'd replay every mistake, every worry, every worst-case scenario on a loop that stole my peace and my sleep. It was like being a prisoner in my own mind, constantly on high alert, exhausted but unable to rest. That all changed when I discovered a specific journaling technique that neurologically rewired my brain. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact practice that helps activate your brain's executive control, quiet its alarm system, and give you back the peace you deserve. Before we get into the how, I want to take a second to really paint a picture of what that cycle of anxiety felt like, because I know so many of you watching will get it. It wasn't just worrying. It was a physical thing, a tightness in my chest, a constant low-level hum of dread that something was or was about to be terribly wrong. My mind would latch onto a single negative thought and refuse to let go, like a dog with a bone, just chewing on it, burying it, and digging it back up again. This obsessive cycle is called rumination, and it's a core feature of anxiety. It tricks you into believing that if you just think about the problem long enough, you can solve it. But you never solve it. You just dig yourself deeper into a hole of helplessness. I would lie awake at night, heart pounding, as my brain served up a highlight reel of every embarrassing thing I'd ever said or every potential failure on the horizon. During the day, it was a constant background static that made it impossible to focus, be present with people I loved, or enjoy what should have been happy moments. It felt like my brain's alarm system, the part designed to spot threats, was broken. It was screaming, "Danger!" all the time, even when I was perfectly safe. I tried everything to shut it off: meditation, deep breathing, positive affirmations. And while those things brought moments of relief, the underlying pattern of rumination always came roaring back. I felt completely and utterly stuck until I stumbled upon the work of a researcher that changed everything. The turning point for me was discovering the work of Dr. James Pennebaker, a psychologist who has spent decades studying the connection between writing and emotional health. He developed a specific, structured journaling technique called expressive writing. This isn't your typical Dear Diary, where you just list what happened in your day. It's a focused process designed to help you confront and work through your deepest thoughts and feelings about stressful events. Now, the results from hundreds of studies on this are pretty astounding. While that 45% reduction I mentioned is a high-end figure from a specific context, the broader science is still incredibly promising. Larger reviews of the research have found that expressive writing can lead to a significant, though more modest, reduction in anxiety symptoms. Some meta-analyses have found small but significant effects on reducing overall symptoms of depression, anxiety, and stress. When I first read that, I was skeptical but desperate. I decided to commit to the protocol, and what happened next wasn't just a change in my mood. It felt like a fundamental shift in how my brain operated. I call the method I'm about to teach you the executive control journaling method, because what this practice does, on a brain level, is quiet your overactive alarm system and hand the controls back to the calm, rational thinking part of your brain. So what's actually happening in your brain when you do this? Why is it so effective? It all boils down to a power struggle between two key parts of your brain, the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. Think of your amygdala as your brain's emotional alarm system. It's responsible for processing fear and detecting threats. When you're anxious, your amygdala is overactive, constantly firing off warning signals. This is the part of your brain that gets you stuck in that fight or flight mode, that loop of rumination and panic. Now, think of your prefrontal cortex as your brain's CEO or executive. It's right behind your forehead and is responsible for rational thought, decision-making, and emotional regulation. It's the calm, logical voice that can look at a situation and say, "Okay, we're safe. We can handle this." When you're trapped in anxiety, your overactive amygdala is essentially hijacking your brain, drowning out the voice of your prefrontal cortex. You're all emotion and threat detection, with very little executive control. Here's where the magic of expressive writing comes in. Research using brain scans shows that the simple act of putting your feelings and experiences into words, a process called affect labeling, does something incredible. It increases activity in the prefrontal cortex, your executive control center. At the same time, it actually dampens or reduces the activity in the amygdala, your threat detection system. You are literally, neurologically, strengthening your brain's CEO while calming down its frantic alarm system. By writing down the chaotic storm of thoughts and feelings, you force your brain to organize them into a coherent structure. This act of translating abstract feeling into concrete language engages your prefrontal cortex, giving it power over the raw emotion of the amygdala. Over time, this practice creates and strengthens new neural pathways. This is called neuroplasticity. You are rewiring your brain to become less reactive and more emotionally resilient. So how do you actually do this? The protocol is incredibly simple, but its power is in its structure and consistency. Here is the exact 4-day protocol based on Dr. Pennebaker's research. Step 1. Set the stage. Find a quiet, private space where you won't be interrupted. Set a timer for just 20 minutes. You can use a pen and paper, which many people find more effective, or you can type. The most important thing is that this is for your eyes only. You have to feel completely safe to be honest without any fear of judgment. Step 2. The writing prompt. For the next 20 minutes, your task is to write continuously about your deepest thoughts and emotions around the most upsetting or stressful experience in your life. This could be a major trauma, or it could be a persistent conflict that's been weighing on you. As you write, Dr. Pennebaker suggests trying to link the event to other parts of your life. How has it affected your past, your relationships, your work? How does it relate to who you were, who you are now, and who you want to become? Step 3. The rules of writing. This is crucial. Once you start writing, do not stop for the full 20 minutes. Write continuously. Don't worry about spelling, grammar, or making sense. This isn't an essay, it's an excavation. If you run out of things to say, just repeat what you've already written until a new thought pops up. The goal is to let go and explore every corner of the experience without censoring yourself. Step 4. The 4-day commitment. Repeat this process for 15-20 minutes a day for 4 consecutive days. You can write about the same issue every day, going deeper each time, or you can explore different topics. Studies show this 4-day intensive burst is remarkably effective. A quick but important disclaimer. Some studies suggest that writing about a trauma right after it happens might make things feel worse, so it can be helpful to wait a few weeks or months. And if at any point the process feels too overwhelming, it is more than okay to stop. This is a powerful tool, but it is not a replacement for professional therapy. Think of it as a powerful personal practice to support your mental health journey. The benefits of this practice don't just stop at anxiety. The research shows that processing your emotions this way can have profound effects on your physical health too. Holding on to emotional turmoil takes a huge physical toll, and expressive writing helps release that burden. For starters, some studies suggest it can give your immune system a helping hand. Researchers have found that people who engage in expressive writing can show increased activity in lymphocytes, the very cells that fight off infection. In one remarkable study, participants who wrote about stressful events healed faster from a physical wound than those who wrote about neutral topics. On top of that, this practice can be a potent stress reducer. Some research has shown that expressive writing can lower your body's levels of cortisol, the primary stress hormone, although results can vary. Chronically high cortisol is linked to all sorts of health problems, so by managing your emotional stress through writing, you are directly lowering the physiological stress on your body. This has also been linked to benefits like lower blood pressure. So, while you might start this practice to calm your mind, you're also doing something incredibly beneficial for your body's long-term health. The journey out of anxiety is a personal one, but you don't have to walk it alone. The act of putting thoughts on paper is the first step toward taking their power away. To start that process right now, I have a simple question for you. What's one thought you'd want to get out on paper right now? You don't need to share the whole story, but just naming that one thing can be incredibly powerful. Share it in the comments below, and let's create a space of support and understanding for each other. For years, I believed that the anxious, ruminating voice in my head was just me, a fundamental part of my personality that I just had to live with. But what I learned through this practice is that thoughts are not facts, and feelings are not final. The cycle of anxiety can feel like a life sentence, but it's not. It's a pattern, and patterns can be broken. The executive control journaling method isn't a magic wand, but it is a scientifically proven roadmap. It's a way to step out of the chaotic storm of your amygdala and into the calm, clear-headed space of your prefrontal cortex. It's a way to take the jumbled mess of feelings and experiences and organize them into a story you can understand and move past. All it takes is 20 minutes for 4 days and a willingness to be honest with yourself. You have the power to neurologically rewire your brain for peace. You can dampen the threat detection and activate your executive control. You can take back the keys from your anxiety and become the driver of your own mind once again. The journey starts with a single word on a blank page. You can do this.